Hi, I'm Phil from DDL. Today we're going to talk about the petrol disc car. This particular model is the STIHL ts410. I'm going to go through the basics of how to start it, making sure we've got the right mix and see where we go from there, and obviously with personal protection. So like we say, the first things first, we're going to do the basics of making sure the machine's safe. This particular model requires 2-stroke oil. Now obviously we're using our own branded one, the STIHL, but a lot of people are buying motorcycle oil for these. Unfortunately, that's no good, for the simple reason is motorcycles go at speed. They have an airflow coming into them. This particular model stands still, so it needs a good oil to stop it from seizing up. With that, you need to mix it. 5 litres of fuel, so you get your green petrol can. This is a 5 litre can. 5 litres of unleaded fuel, 100 ml of oil into it. Put the cap on, give it a little gentle shake. You're now ready to run this machine. Now again, depending on what you're working, where your environment, obviously, you're going to need protection. Protection we're going to go for on this one particularly, this is a loud machine. So you need ear defenders, at least, depending on whether you're cutting, face mask, and of course, eye protection and gloves. They're really important. You'll understand why, and obviously if you're on a construction site, you will require hard hat. And of course, most importantly, bear in mind you're cutting on the floor, protected boots, toe protector boots, protect yourself. So we're going to start through the basics. So once you've mixed your fuel up, fuel goes inside here. Push down and twist, lift it over. Then obviously fill it up. If your machine's been warmed up already, make sure you're using a funnel to fill it up, because obviously petrol vapours on this particular model will catch light quite easily. Again, reverse procedure for putting it back. Starting procedure, pretty straightforward, but we're going to go through it. You have a 3-stepper choke and a primer pump, a decompression lever and a throttle switch. With this particular model, to start it, push the choke fully forward as far as it will go, squeeze the trigger, and with the other finger, pull back to hold in the start position. And this is where everybody goes wrong. Push the decompression lever in, and it will click, which then makes it easier for pulling. You can hear it hissing. Otherwise, a lot of people do try and snap the cord. Once you pull it once and it starts to go, it will stall itself. Drop the choke down 1, so it goes into the middle, prime 4 times, push decompression again, and then pull again. That will start it up. Once it's warmed up, push the choke completely back. To stop the machine, squeeze the trigger on throttle, push it completely forward. Now this particular model can take 2 types of blade. So the blades you can take are abrasive discs, which you can get in stone and metal, and also a lot of choices, especially concrete and this sort of stuff, is a diamond blade. Fitting a diamond blade or abrasive blade, quite simple. You have your nut on the front with your spanner, provided, fit it on and it'll undo, nice and easy. If for any reason it becomes very stiff and you can't undo it with manual because it hasn't got a blade on or whatever, that's not a problem, because what you have, either a screwdriver or a little steel bar. You turn the machine around and they'll see there's a hole provided for that to go in. By a gentle turn on that, it locks the drive, making it easier to undo and do up. Back. So basically, unscrew, get your blade. With a diamond blade especially, there is an arrow location on these, and because it's important, because the diamond will only cut one way. So by checking on it, you'll find there should be an arrow. If you're not sure, the easiest way to look for it, on your diamond, if you run your nail over it, it will give you what they call comic tails, where you see the diamond and a piece of metal burr back on it. That is the way it cuts. The diamond up, the comet back. Place the blade up through. The blade, once again, has 2 locator pins. Make sure that the flange does locate and then tighten up accordingly. Again, with the option, if you're not feeling strong, you can actually hold it manually. If you're not feeling strong, you can lock the blade up by turning it till it locates, then it will not go any further, and then that way you can just nip. Big no-no in this industry, obviously, this machine will work with water feed to keep the dust down, which helps you with. Diamond blade is the only product you can use with water. Do not put an abrasive blade on and put water to it. It will just cause the blade to disintegrate. So with this machine has the option of a water feed system. Now that can fit onto a standard hose from your hose pipe, which will then pass water up to the front of the guard and spray on the blade. Keeps the dust down. Now, if you haven't got a hose pipe attachment, they can then provide you, or you get, a pressure washer bottle like this. And again, nice and easy machine. All you do then, put your machine over and click it into place. With the water filled up by a few pumps, build up the pressure of the water, it will then come out and go through the guard with an on, it's an off, sorry, and then turn for on. Nice and easy, pretty straightforward, but again, it's got to only be used for diamond blades, not abrasive. So what we're going to do now, we're going to fire this machine up. So it's going to be a little bit noisy, hence why we have ear defenders. So ear defenders, obviously protect the hearing. And then obviously we'll have eye protection. Put my ears down for a minute. And particularly gloves to go through it. When you use a mask, make sure you have a good one. This one has a respirator on the front and obviously a nasal bar. The objective is when you put it over to your face, squeeze the bar so it moulds to your nose. And then you strap it to the back of your head. That way, it keeps it nice and tight. Just for this, we're not going to use the mask, but obviously that's the options. So what we're going to do here, I'm going to move this over, place the machine on firm ground, push the choke forward, the third position, prime 4 times, decompressor in, squeeze the trigger, pull back to the starting point. It now should fire. Fired once, it will shut down. Put it off into the middle position, 4 primes, decompression, don't touch the throttle. Once it's warmed up a little bit, stop it, just push it forward. So that's the basics of the machine. Obviously, making sure you have your eye protection whilst cutting at all times. And obviously, if you're cutting dry, face mask. If you're using water, you're not so bad. Hopefully, that helps you out. Thank you.